enough to call it the most exciting and competitive division in football. A man whose highlight reel could be as long as Peter Schrager's deep dive on the history of the Colts. Yuck. Really reaching out to that young demographic here. A man who goes by many names. Danger Russ, Mr. Unlimited, and more commonly, Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson should be considered the most important person in the division for many reasons. It's not because he works harder than Kyle Brandt works on his biceps. We get it, dude. You got a trainer, okay? It's his ability to adjust, and not just adjust in the pocket. Take a look how he adjusts his hairstyles. Exhibit number 1. Curly, elegant, beautiful.
Yeah.
I present exhibit number 2. Business in the front, party in the back, making mullets look classy. Exhibit number 3. Clean, well-groomed, yet still looks like just one of the guys. And I would like to make a motion to dismiss all claims that Mr. Wilson is no longer the front runner for league MVP. My basis for this motion is the other team's defenses that have been prosecuted by my client's exceptional December heroics. Case in point, week 13, 2018. 4 touchdowns, 185 yards passing, no interceptions. May I mention week 14, 2019. 245 yards passing against the so-called stout Rams defense. What about week 17 of 2019? 233 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. When it comes to December, the NFC West belongs to my client.
They lost that game.
Now, before I go on, you have your turn. Order in the court.
He lost.
That is disrespectful.
Good job, Zips.
You will lose your bar, whatever it's called. All right, before I let you
disbarred.
Yeah, disbarred. You will be disbarred.
Quiet over there, peanut gallery.
Thank you. I want to address some of the things you'll hear from the other prosecutors. You know, they might tell you that Jalen Ramsey is the most important guy in the division. Even Jalen Ramsey seems confused about that take. He looks like the doll from the Rugrats. Jalen, I love you. All right? They also might tell you that the guy in the NFC West is Cliff Kingsbury. We all remember Cliff's draft photo back in April. But what you might not have noticed is among the multiple fireplaces is my client waiting in the background, never letting old Cliff forget who runs this town. Thank you, Judge Adams. You have a great day.
Okay, I have a follow-up question. Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
I noticed in the case you made great points, great evidence. The exhibits on the hair are great. He's never done the Peter Schrager haircut. That's something that I'd like to see. But I'd like to ask you why you didn't submit the 6 turnovers in the last 2 games by Russell Wilson.
Because I'm talking about November and December.
Okay.
We will see the best of Russell Wilson coming up.
Thank you.
Have a good day. All right, take care.
Thank you so much, Mr. Burleson. Up next, let's please have a Mr. Peter Schrager defending his client, Mr. Jalen Ramsey. Welcome to the courtroom.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Nice to see the previous attorney get dressed for the courtroom. Cool leather jacket, Axel Foley. The Honorable Justice Adams, it is a pleasure to see you. It's always an honor to be in your courtroom, but I must tell you that today I am different than the other lawyers that you'll encounter this morning. For I am a defense attorney. I respect defense. I honor those who defend, and I present the cases that so many of these offense attorneys wouldn't dare put their names on in any MVP conversations. You see, the most valuable person in the NFC West is not one of these high-flying offensive guys. It's a defensive player in LA, a beast, and it's not even him. No, I'm talking about Jalen Ramsey, the ultimate weapon and the human eraser on the football field this season. My pitch to you is not one filled with opinion or manipulative rhetoric like Mr. Burleson. No, I will not resort to cheesy puns and hairstyles like that individual or do a silly voice and have costumes like Mr. Brandt. No, I will not try to wow you with anything. I point to evidence instead.
It was a great day.
Shots fired.
You see,
who's that guy?
That's a comedian. He's about to walk into your courtroom and insult the entire floor. No, Jalen Ramsey has been the most dominant individual all season long. Suspect number 1, Stephon Diggs. Okay, Buffalo Bills. Jalen Ramsey was targeted 5 times that entire game and gave up 1 catch for 5 yards. Suspect number 2, the entire Philadelphia Eagles receiving corps. Carson Wentz threw at Jalen Ramsey just twice the entire game. No receptions were recorded. Suspect number 3, the Washington football team offense. Jalen Ramsey was thrown at twice in that game. Again, goose egg, 0 receptions against him. And lastly, oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. This is not... The Seattle Seahawks.
You're a lawyer.
The much ballyhooed DK Metcalf. Let's let Russ cook. Oh, he tried, but it was a bad dish. Mr. Burleson once called Russell Wilson and this gentleman the best combo in the NFL. The only thing they combined for, though, was 2 catches for 28 yards when they met my client, Mr. Ramsey. Look, if you don't believe my numbers, please take it from the fine men and women at PFF. Among players with 300 coverage snaps this season,
stats,
Jalen Ramsey ranks first, allowing half a yard.
Half a yard?
For coverage snap. I end this passionate quote from the modern poet Wale. Hop out the Jag in L.A. like Jalen Ramsey, you heard. Wale is a friend of mine.
Oh, really?
This is from his new freestyle, Lions, Bengals, and Bears.
Great song.
I love to quote the great poets, and you may have heard what Wale said. Look at that beautiful picture of him.
You're friends with Wale Zerbiak.
Wally Pip. This former Jag is more than merely making an impact. He's this season's best cornerback. He might be this season's best defensive player, and he 100% is the most valuable player in the great NFC West. Thank you, Justice Adams.
I mean, excellent use of ballyhooed. I haven't heard that since the late 1990s. I appreciate that. What is that you're holding?
This is a pointer.
Curious.
This is
a pointer.
I'm going to leave this for the
Very
next.
good. Are you really friends with Wale?
Yeah, me and Wale.
I love it. Peter Schrager, excellent job by you. And now presenting our final... Yes, please exit that way. Thank you.
It's like Leonardo DiCaprio, Catch Me If You Can. Not a real lawyer.
Our final argument will be Mr. Kyle Brandt, Esquire, on behalf of Cliff Kingsbury. Mr. Brandt, the floor is yours.
What a fine morning this morning, Your Honor. I do love Mr. Schrager coming in and insulting Mr. Burleson's wardrobe while wearing a sport jacket and jeans. It is an honor to speak in this regal hall today before you, Your Honor. And before this jury at home, it is an honor to speak on behalf of the Arizona Cardinals. But before I do, a word on my competition. It seems that Mr. Schrager's entire set of beliefs on behalf of Mr. Ramsey rests upon Mr. Ramsey's performance against DK Metcalf. Yes, we know Mr. Metcalf against the Los Angeles Rams was held to 2 catches for 28 yards. We're all very impressed. 2 catches, 28 yards. Thing is, against the Arizona Cardinals, he had 2 catches for 23 yards. So I deduced then, Your Honor, that Mr. Schrager would suggest that Dre Kirkpatrick should be the most important person in the division. Please, Mr. Schrager, see yourself out of these chambers. When I hear about a talented Jalen in Los Angeles, my heart still belongs with Aunt Becky. Now.
Oh, my God.
Lori Loughlin.
Mr. Burleson. Oh, Mr. Burleson, what are we going to do with you this time? What are we going to do this time? Russell Wilson? Now, I wasn't going to do this. I was going to keep my back pocket. But if it would please the court, I'd like to present Exhibit A, and this might as well be Exhibits A through Z in the case against Russell Wilson in the form of this brief videotape.
I think I have an alter ego. His name's Mr. Unlimited. Yeah, you gotta be unlimited. You know, you gotta have a thought process of being unlimited.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is an excellent football player. That is a weird dude. That man is cornier than a bowl of succotash. And on the football field, with unlimited, make no mistake, this so-called most important person's most memorable play of the whole dang season, Your Honor, was an ugly interception on the dang goal line. Shoot, if doing that's all it takes to be MIP, I suppose Mr. Burleson would crown Mr. Unlimited the MVP of Super Bowl 49 as well. We've seen that one before, and that is why, ladies and gentlemen, I present the true most important person of the Western NFC. Oh, baby, look at Mr. Cliff Kingsbury. Woo! You don't know whether you want to give him a shot to the body or pour him a body shot. Mr. DeAndre Hopkins took a shot on this man when they migrated to the desert. And here is my Exhibit A and my Exhibit B in the Kingsbury dossier. Believe me, this trade was not the first time Mr. Kingsbury pulled a 10. Believe me, this was not the first time Mr. Kingsbury scored with a Mary, or the last time. So let's put him up there with his drinking buddies. Let me get Mr. Kingsbury up there with his drinking buddies. There we go. All these geniuses and jaw lines. This man has the the #1 offense in all the land, 425 yards per contest. Y'all think when they get together at their off-season swingers parties or whatever, you think they're talking about defense? You think they're bragging about, you think McVay brags to Kingsbury that Micah Kaiser has more tackles than Hassan Reddick? Hell no. Offense, baby. Cliff's #1. Let's go down the line. He already smacked the juicy fruit out of this man's mouth. You're gonna smack the molding paste out of this guy's head. And Shan Man, Mr. Kingsbury is just an upgrade on the Shan Man. You give the 49ers coach a 10 face and a 10 body. You do the math, my friends. What happens when you add 2 10s to a 49? Bam!
Oh my
Mr.
God.
Kingsbury, you want compelling? You want entertaining? Go back to April at that incredible collection of talent where the powers that be select who the talent they like most. No, not the draft. I'm talking about coaches' pleasure palace. That stabbing cabin ain't no wonder Mr. Kingsbury prefers his quarterbacks to be baseball players. This